My name's Dennis. I'm known as Farmer B around here at Thistle Springs, and I'm getting Farmer A or Keely out of here for a few days, and we want to invite you to come along for our adventure. So stay tuned.
So here we've headed towards Cumberland Gap National Historical Park for some hiking, history, scenic views, and some rest. We headed east across Arkansas towards Tennessee. It was a cloudy day, but good for driving mostly. We did encounter some rain, a lot of rain actually, but that's okay because I did some knitting and it rained some more, and so I did some more knitting and it rained some more. And so I did some combing to get a little caught up on that, and it rained some more. But we do finally arrive at our cabin destination, and we were hoping for the beautiful scenic views that you see on this Airbnb photo that was supposed to be out the back deck. But this was what we got instead. For 2 days, there was pretty much zero visibility, but that's okay. We still had a great time, and the next morning we set out for the Cumberland Gap. There was a little bit of fog starting out, but it wasn't too bad, and we did have some scenic views. We did get to go through the Cumberland Gap tunnel, which you're about to see here. It's 4,600 feet or 1,400 meters long. It runs under the Cumberland Mountain, connecting Kentucky and Tennessee. It's quite long, and so I'm not going to make you watch that whole adventure through there, so I kind of fast forward here and I pop us out on the other side. This is the Kentucky side, and here we are driving up to a pinnacle overlook, hoping for some scenic and spectacular views.
Document that standing in this place, we are in Virginia. Wish I could see more of it.
And we ain't never been in Virginia.
You can see the walkways are really pretty as we're walking out here to the pinnacle point. Here we are.
All right, here Thistle Springs is once again in, where are we? Cumberland Gap National Historic Park.
Now we're in Tennessee.
And we are now in Tennessee. We were in Virginia a minute ago. Literally, like right up there. We were in Virginia. We just wanted you to see what the view looked like in Tennessee, because clearly there is a maze of mountains. And here is exactly what it looks like.
No visibility whatsoever. Zero. Zero, zero.
But we're still having fun.
So here we go ahead and head back down the mountain. We're going to head down into the little town of Cumberland Gap. We're in Virginia. And it's a cute little town, very historical, and this is where the trailhead hike starts. We're going to head on up to the Tri-State Peak area, and one really cool thing was the cool start to this hike, and this is what they call the Iron Furnace. There was a spring, and still is a spring, that comes from a cave up the mountain, and the early settlers felt that it would be sufficient enough to turn a mill, and so they constructed this furnace, and this is where they smelted iron from the iron ore that was mined nearby. A little nerd tidbit for you is that each day 625 bushels of charcoal, 6¼ tons of iron ore, and 1,500 plus pounds of limestone were used to produce approximately 3 tons of iron a day. They've got it barred off, so you can't actually go inside, but you can see really well in there and look around. You can imagine the heat that came from that thing at one time. But that was really cool. And so then we head on up Daniel Boone Trail. We're headed to the Cumberland Gap at this moment. That's my husband showing off his hat. And here we are. We're out of breath. There was some elevation. I'd say it was a moderate hike, but we've arrived. And this is the actual Cumberland Gap. Many settlers, Native Americans, come through here. This is where Daniel Boone led the expedition. So it's kind of neat to be standing in this historical spot. And we're about to take off and continue on up to the Tri-State Peak. At this point, we had 0.6 miles left We're on the Daniel Boone Trail, and there's this monument to commemorate his expedition. He went from North Carolina to Kentucky. That was in 1769, and then in 1915, the Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia Daughters of the American Revolution erected that monument. And so here we are. We're going to continue on up. There is a little elevation here. And here we are. This is the Tri-State Peak area. This is a National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark, which is also the Royal Colonial Boundary of 1665. And here we are. We have the state monuments. There's Tennessee. And there is Kentucky. And over to the right is Virginia. And so it's kind of neat to be standing here in 3 different states. And again, that view should be spectacular, but we can't see it. So Virginia was the 10th state, Kentucky was the 15th, and Tennessee the 16th. Did I say that correctly? And there's our photo. This photo, or this picture here, this was along the trail, a little informative thing. This photo is actually called Hard Road to a New Life, which I just thought was really cool, and I want it hanging in my house someday. Hint, hint. I have to take the time to mention this little hole in the wall bakery and restaurant on Clinch Mountain, which was just a short walk from our cabin. They boasted to be the home of the vinegar pie. So I'm from the South, but never had vinegar pie, so I had to try. It's a vintage desperation pie that originated in the mid-19th century as a clever and creative substitute for fruit pies when fresh fruit was unavailable or too expensive. So there it is. I can't say I would ever crave it, but it really wasn't too bad. And here I have the best part of the trip, and that is coming home. So our little boys were glad to have us back. They gave us a very warm welcome and secretly asked us to not leave for a long time.